Good morning, everyone. This is April with Walking Down Main Street, and right now we are walking into Disney's Animal Kingdom for the Passholder Preview. Just went through security, so I'll talk about the process, but right now I am just so overwhelmed with emotions. The fact that we're actually doing this today, it's unbelievable. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see what's going on. And we're honestly at the front of the pack, so there aren't many people in front of us right now getting ready for this. It's pretty crazy. I haven't been here since February, and it doesn't seem like that long of a time, but it's felt like an eternity. All right, I'm gonna turn you off for a minute so I can go through the security. I'll go through the gate. Okay, we are in. I imagine they're queuing us up by the tree. Let's get a map. I didn't think they were gonna have paper maps, so it's exciting to see that they do. And we're gonna walk in. Good morning. Everyone seems so excited to be here. Good morning. We're walking into Animal Kingdom right now. Oh, it's so emotional. Disney is huge for me. This has been my escape from reality for a long time. When things aren't great, you come to Disney and everything's perfect. You can just be here with my family, the quality time with my family. That's what Disney means to me. And the fact that I'm here right now is unbelievable. So you do have to go in, you queue for a temperature check. So when you're coming in, you get your temperature check. It does have to be below 100.4 degrees. And then you proceed through security. They do have metal detectors now. And so it will set off. I had an umbrella in my backpack. If you're going through the metal detectors, you need to take your umbrella out and put it in your hand, because that throws things off. So I had heard at Magic Kingdom that they give you a plastic bag to put all of your electronics in. They didn't have those plastic bags here, but I had already had all of my electronics in a Ziploc baggie to keep everything together in anticipation of it. But the umbrella, I still had in my bag. So therefore they had to manually search my bag, which meant I took out most of the items in my backpack. A little bit of a pain, but it is what it is. And that got us into the park. Oh my goodness, we're here. We're in. We're here. There's the tree. This is so crazy. I am wearing a neck gaiter, and because it has ear holes, it was allowed. You do have to have a facial covering with a mask, and that includes that it is secured behind your ears. So, like other parks, we're able to wear bandanas. I'm not able to wear them here. Good morning! Thank you! The stores are not open yet. I am going to be hitting the stores, of course. Anybody that knows me would never be surprised by that comment. Now, I'm able to walk in, walk up to the tree, and there is no one in front of me right now. I have a completely open yard with a tree. Alright, we are headed to Pandora. We're escaping planet Earth, and we're on our way. Everybody else is heading in this direction, I'm sure, to ride Flight of Passage. I unfortunately can't ride Flight of Passage. So I'm going to see about getting on Navi River Journey as my first Disney ride with Disney reopening. There are signs everywhere noting safety. You do have to wear a mask. Unlike other parks, we are able to wear bandanas. You can't wear a bandana in here. You do need a face mask that covers your nose and chin and has the ear openings. So I'm doing the neck gaiter, which the only thing I don't like about it is every time I talk or breathe, the gaiter's basically going into my mouth. So not so much fun, but if it means being here, then this is what we do. I do have other masks with me too, so I can try different things. We'll see how the day goes. It's early, it's just before 8 o'clock, and it is toasty. They do have lines on the ground to mark where to stand. That's where they do the wilderness explorers and animal interactions, and there's lines marking off how to stand. So we're walking through. We're gonna go on Navi River Journey, and we could be the only one. I'm good for a solo boat ride. It is 7:59. Technically the park would be open at 8 today for the Passholder Preview, but they did let us in, and we're good. I did have a little stumble with my magic band. I'm using an older magic band today, and it didn't pick up everything. So the guest services cast member actually took a picture of my magic band, and so that way they have the identification number underneath. And I wonder if they're just recording bands that are issues. I haven't had that happen before. I've had bands not work before, but I've never had them take a picture of it. So that might be it. Navi River has a 5-minute wait. We are in. This is amazing to see Pandora with no one here. They're all on Flight of Passage. And one of my favorite things in Disney is taking a million pictures. So to be able to do this without guests in the picture is really unbelievable. It just doesn't happen. All right, we're going on Navi. Stand by. Good morning, thank you. Cast members all seem so excited, as I don't blame them. In the craziness that's been the past several months, probably the most stressful piece was the fact of knowing that Disney was closed and it wasn't my escape, my option to go. So the fact that we're here and we're walking is unbelievable. Making an announcement to wear face coverings. This world is so beautiful. It's really unbelievable how this was constructed. We're walking through the queue. And you can see the queue line is well marked off with lines to say, stand here. And it looks like it is probably about 6-foot distances. I know Universal, some of their lines seem like they were actually longer, but I wouldn't feel less safe here. Hopefully parties do use their judgment that they're not grouping too close to other parties. So this is a long queue that kind of zigzags all through. Navi woven map. Interesting. It's really, if you can take your time to walk through Pandora, it's just the details are unbelievable.
Thank you for visiting us today.
Highly recommend
Just a few reminders. Please wear a face covering. Clean your hands often and
Here we
thoroughly.
Go.
Cover your mouth and nose.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Welcome back to you.
Thank you.
We're here. We're going to go on our first Disney attraction. I can't believe it. Good morning.
You can go to row 1 or 2.
Thank you. Well, we'll take the front row. We're going to have a boat all to ourselves. All right. Are you ready to go on the first ride together? All right, thank you. Here we go. I love this ride. And my secret dream is I want to come in here and take a nap. Because you're floating on a boat, and it's dark, and it's cool, and it's soft music, and I just circle this for hours taking a nap. So if they ever did a contest or some ability that you could do that, I am going to enter a million times because that's my dream right now.
Something in the sound. Smoke the sound.
We're on a Disney ride right now. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you all get to experience this with me because this is pretty crazy. After this, we're gonna head up to Africa and jump on the safari and say hi to all the animals again because we haven't seen them in 5 months. And in here, you really do have to look around. You need to look up and down because there are details that we're getting a little bogged down with boats. This is one of my favorite parts in here because you're underneath these big, what I would presume are lilies, or they could just be leaves. Not water plants, and you've got these little lizard things, 6-footed lizards that are running around on them, and it's so cute. And the Imagineering team really outdid themselves. And the Flight of Passage queue, as much as I don't recommend wading into what could be like a 2-hour plus line, the queue is almost worth it because the queue has so many details. You also get to see the full-size avatar that's in there. It's unbelievable. Projections do change, so you will see different critters as well as the Navi. And there's no one even behind me, so there's empty boats going through right now. This is crazy. Flight of Passage too, but that's okay. Oh, there's the little wood sprites. Those are adorable. Okay, back out into the sunshine. And as I was getting off the ride, there was no one waiting. Pretty crazy, because again, they're probably all on Flight of Passage right now. But let's walk this back way. One special thing about this land is at night you come in and it's a different experience because it's all designed to show off the bioluminescence of Pandora. So this walkway glows in the dark. And you can see all the yellow lines on the road. That will be all the glow in the dark. Now we're under the floating mountains. Hopefully you can see them. And that's the queue for Flight of Passage with a wait time of 5 minutes. Never since opening day have I seen a wait time of 5 minutes. It's just crazy. We're going to take a picture of that just because it's so unusual. We were able to be here for the opening of Pandora back in 2017. Amazing. There is a vehicle that you can try out to see if you fit in the seats. because the seats, there you can see it, you ride it like you ride a motorcycle. So you're kind of hunched forward with your legs straddling the ride vehicle. And that can be interesting and uncomfortable for different guests. The ride comes and locks you behind your back as well as your calves. So depending on your body proportions, that may or may not work so well. Satoui Canteen is one of the park favorites, and cheeseburger pods is one of the more fun things to try in here. The dessert, I've had the blueberry cream cheese mousse. It was really good. I'm not a huge passion fruit fan, so it's got a passion fruit foam on top. Didn't love that, but that's okay, because the dessert was still amazing. So there's plenty of signs to remind you to stay back. And this is an interesting thing, and I'll scan the QR code on your phone. It brings you to the My Disney Experience app, which allows you to place an order. Also, if you have a dining reservation, you scan in the QR code and the dining reservation will come up on My Disney Experience. You say you want to check in. You acknowledge how many adults or children are in your party, and then whether you have any allergies, and they check you in. And then you wait for the hostess to seat you. Now, this is the location of one of my personal favorites, the Night Blossom, which is really an amazing treat. It is non-alcoholic, although they do have some alcoholic fun things in here as well. I'm gonna get a picture of the menu. There we go. When we get out of here, I'm just gonna lower you. I don't want to get cast members' faces on camera if they even agreed to be on camera. So we're gonna do our best to avoid that. Again, not since opening day have I seen this park so empty. There's Wind Traders. Let's take a peek in there. That's the gift shop for Pandora. One interesting thing is there's nothing that mentions Disney or Disney specifically related. There's no Mickey Mouse in Pandora. Oh, that says exit. Interesting. All right, we can go in the back entrance. So that's one of my personal challenges, I think, during this COVID time, is trying to figure out how to get in and out of stores, buildings, aisles. The signage tends to be confusing. So here's stroller parking over here, you can see. Let's walk through. People are waiting for their friends or family to come off Flight of Passage, I'm sure. Now, the Passholder Preview was a registration process. It sold out very quickly. Lynn is in Magic Kingdom right now, queuing up for that. Well, I wasn't able to get into Magic Kingdom. It was full, so I'm here, but Animal Kingdom is definitely one of my favorite parks. And you can see more of the mountain. There's the exit for Flight of Passage. And here we can go in the store. Our sanitizing stations. Good morning, welcome back to you. And here we are in Wind Traders. You can see, again, everything is Pandora. No Mickeys in here. You can get it everywhere else in the park, but not in this shop. And they do sell some Pandora items at the main gift shop at the front as well. So if you miss it here, you do have another chance. You can go back there and get it. Oh, we're here. Can't believe we're here. It's pretty amazing. Good morning. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. It's fun. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So it's a little taste of Pandora. And this just had its anniversary. So it just had its anniversary the end of May. So it's just 3 years old. And we're here. One of the first people in this park since March 15th. That's so crazy. So crazy. When I was here in February, I would have never in a million years have imagined that there was possibility of Walt Disney World closing. It's never a remote thought. You know, even for hurricanes, I think the longest it may have been closed is 2 days. 9/11, it closed for, I believe, just a day. So the fact that it's been closed for 3 months, is just mind-blowing. All right, we're walking through. You can see all the different vegetation. They've got a lot of earthly plants mixed in with some interesting Pandora vegetation. Nope, the line is starting to back up a little bit for Avatar, but still, anybody would kill to be in this short of a line. I don't know, are we allowed to go that way to Africa? I think we are. All right, so there are 2 entrances to get into Pandora. One is closer to the front, near the main gift shop by Pizzafari and before Starbucks. And then the other is this way that we're going. That's going to take us out by Festival of the Lion King and Africa. And you can hear all the little critter sounds in the background. And the sounds do change. So throughout the day and into the evening, you can hear the sounds of the critters changing as the nocturnal animals come up and the diurnal animals go to sleep. You can see Flight of Passage tends to have an extremely long line. And so they do have these queue line markers for going quite a distance to be able to help to remind people that they do need to still stay apart. Even though we're in the parks, there still is a pandemic going on. As crazy as it is. So face masks are important. You can't come to the park without them. And social distancing is a must. So let's see how far back. I've seen this line go wrap around as far back as Africa and loop back the other way. So it looks like they've prepared for that. Although right now with the capacities the way they are, I don't know that you would see lines this long right now. But there's still going to be a wait. I don't know how they're doing the queue line for Flight of Passage, because typically in a room there are 8 vehicles. So I don't know if they're seating unrelated parties with a vehicle in between, or how they're spacing out the queue. Unfortunately, I can't ride it, so I can't show you. But we'll have to ask somebody. Or if any of you know, leave a comment and let us know how they spaced out on Flight of Passage. What was the capacity like on the ride? And if you're riding the ride, I do know that if you sit in different positions, or if you do get in different rooms, because there are different rooms with the 8 vehicles, then you can have a different ride experience. You'll see some different sights, and it'll be a little different. So it's worth it riding more than once. I have ridden it a couple of times because I had to try it. I did try it opening day. It did make me motion sick. Not to give anything away, but it does have a cool breeze that's blowing on your face, and you do get a light misting of water, and that helps, especially if you are feeling motion sick. Now we can see that these queue lines are still continuing. That one's a large distance, but that's not a bad thing. And now we're crossing into Africa, so the sounds have changed, the music has changed, the sights have changed. Now we're back on Earth, so we have normal earthly vegetation. I believe, I don't know if that's the Club 33 building. I think it is. Club 33 is a very, very special and exclusive club that costs a small fortune to enter, as well as to have an annual fee. Someday I could have dreams of doing it. Who knows? Good morning. Everyone is so happy to be working. And look at these lines, queue lines for Flight of Passage are still going on. So it's going all the way back to Festival of the Lion King. I don't think those are Festival of the Lion King queues, unless I could be wrong. Not totally sure. But Festival of the Lion King, it is running right now. Many of the shows are not running. So Finding Nemo, Up, Great Bird Adventure, I believe it's called. Those shows are not running in this park. And then of course the nighttime shows are not running. Festival of the Lion King, if you haven't seen it, I don't think I could recommend it more. It is amazing. Short of the Broadway play, which I have been fortunate enough to see. My daughter surprised me for my birthday a couple years ago with tickets to Festival of the Lion King in New York. So we get to see it on Broadway, and I would have stayed and watched it over and over again if we were allowed to. It was amazing. Look at this, there are barely any people here. We're gonna go jump on safari. This is Tusker House. This is a character dining restaurant, which is not open right now. It is a buffet, so many of the buffets aren't open. Character interactions are a little different. The only character meal that's open right now is Topolino's Terrace, which is at the Disney's Riviera Resort. Amazing. Highly recommend. We had dinner there last night. Oh my God, so good. But they do have a character meal with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy. And so you do see the characters walk by, but you're not able to come in direct contact with them. There's no hugging Mickey right now. There's no autographs. They do give you a signature card with their autographs imprinted on them. So not the same, but you do still see the characters. Now, this is one of my favorite popcorn stands because I collect popcorn buckets, and it is not open. I don't know if it will be open today. It's the Passholder Preview day, so I don't know what's going to be open, what's not. And this is a nearly empty Africa. How crazy is this? And granted, this is the Passholder Preview, so it's not going to be normal capacity. The park opens to the public on Saturday, the 11th. So they have previews today and tomorrow, alternating. If you can choose one preview, and you can choose Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom. And so Magic Kingdom did fill up very quickly. Lynn was able to get into it. I was not, but I'm still happy to be here. I'm in Disney, that's all that matters. Any other detail beyond that is cake. So we're gonna go get on the safari. Good morning. One thing I don't like about masks, I don't know if people can tell if you're smiling at them. I feel like that's lost some interactions because you can't smile so well. I mean, you've got to like overly smile so they can hopefully see your eyes crinkle up to know that, oh yeah, you are being friendly. I wouldn't want people to think that I was grumpy with them or not smiling at them. All right, let's see what the safari is like. 5-minute wait. Okay, please.
Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing.
That's crazy.
Physical distancing. Thank you for your cooperation.
We're gonna walk on the animal trails too, because I love them. Good morning. And again, sanitizers. Now, I have heard that they are cleaning vehicles every so often. I don't know the particular frequency, so I don't want to misquote it to have it be more or less than what they're actually doing. The queue lines again, so you can walk through. Right now, the Fast Pass system is down. So to visit Disney, you do have to have what's called a park reservation, which means once you have your park tickets, whether it's through a package or you buy the park tickets separately, you have to go onto My Disney Experience and reserve a park for the day. One park per day. No park hopping right now, which is very sad. But it is what it is. And you go in, you reserve the reservation, and you choose your park for the day. You can go in and out of the same park. Oh, there's some cranes. Crowned cranes. Can you see them? They're so cute. Walking through, there's a few people straggling behind me. Fun fact, all of the ride vehicles in here are Symbol 1. They do not have individual names. So that's a bit of trivia. What is a ride vehicle for Kilimanjaro Safari? It's a Symbol 1, because they're all Symbol 1. And you can ride the safari more than once because it can be a different experience. These animals are free roaming. They are in contained areas, so they do have a limit as to how far they can roam, but they can move around at will. So sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. I like to ride it either first thing, because I feel like in the morning it's cooler. The animals are fresh. They do go into their homes at night and then are let out into the safari early in the morning for the diurnal animals. Or I like to ride it in the evening before it's completely dark, because again it's cooler, so the animals are a little more active. They do have nighttime safaris now, and that is interesting. So you do see some of the animals. You see the lions actually up and being active. They have hyenas, they have wild dogs here. You can see them being active. So a little different experience when you ride at night. They do have the safari lit appropriately, so the animals aren't losing their nighttime. But they have it lit so that way you can see them. It's not as great obviously as daytime, but it's still worth checking out.
Asante Sana Warden. All right, you guys, Twin Day. That one means let's go. So, let's go. Chambo, everyone. Good morning. My name is Jessa. I am going to be your safari guide out here at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve.
Gonna listen.
It is going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride, so I ask that you guys please remain seated at absolutely all times. Be sure to keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside of the truck as well. There are a lot of trees and bushes out there that do have some thorns. I don't want you guys to get hurt out there. Now, up above your head, there is an animal spotting guide. That is going to be a great indication of some of the animals that we're going to be looking there for today. Now, I worked really hard on that last night. I knew you guys were coming, so I cut out all those pictures from magazines, glued them on there. I only glued my fingers together twice, so I consider that a success. Now, we might not see everything on that list. No need to worry, though. We are going to see quite a few of those things, and there's even some opportunities we might see things that have wandered onto the reserve that are not on that list at all. But that's exactly why I'm here. I'm going to point them out, give you a lot of information about them. If at any point you see something that I haven't mentioned yet, also feel free to shout it out so that I can look over to the left or right or in front of us, wherever it is, and let you know what you see out there. If you have any questions, I'm your driver and your information person. I'm here to give you all the information as much as possible. Looks like our journey is going to begin here, though. Let's enter into what looks like the Libertary Forest. Now, there's going to be a lot of dense brush here in the forest, meaning there's a lot of opportunities for the animals here to hide. That is the best thing for them, though. That is their camouflage. Their trunk is a pretty useful tool. It's almost a combination of an upper lip, a nose, and a hand for them. Take a look. You see it used as a hand right now. Going to bring that food up to its mouth. It can also hold about 5 gallons of water in that trunk. Pretty great to spray on themselves when they want to cool down, or even to bring to their mouth to drink. Now I mentioned the males are solitary, so the herds, groups like this, are going to be the adult females and their young. Typically, they'll stay together throughout the day, but they're very social animals, these elephants, so they will spread out throughout the day. Sometimes mom and their young will go off for some bonding time, or they'll travel to other herds to talk to others. But at night, almost like a curfew, they'll return back to their own respective herds for protection through nightfall, especially the adults surrounding the young for a little extra protection. Keep an eye out here on the left. It looks like we've come up to a few flamingos. I want you guys to pay very close attention. If you look out there in between the group, you'll see some tiny little ones with some dark feet. Those are baby flamingos. Now, these look to be like the greater flamingo. That is the lightest pink species as well as the largest. When they're first hatched, you think you can tell they're not pink just yet. Their coloration will come from their diet. They eat a lot of things like brine shrimp. The things that they eat contain something known as beta-carotene that's going to help to develop that coloring into their feathers within the first year or so of their lives. It looks like the warden has caught some of those poachers. If you recall by the black rhinos, I said unfortunately rhinos were poached for their horns. It looks like there's some elephant tusks over there on that stand as well though. So that does mean elephants unfortunately are poached for those tusks made out of ivory. High up, it allows predators to jump on top and look out for their prey. A lot of the time with the predators sitting up here, they don't get bothered either, so it's a nice relaxing area for them to sleep when need be. Take a look over there on the left, you guys. Something pretty special. It looks like there's a lion, and in fact it looks like a male. You can tell because of the mane around his head. Now you guys probably also notice here in front of us a few rhinos. They look like a couple of different colors. That's just because the one closest to here is covered in mud. Just like the elephants, they like to roll around in the mud to help keep themselves cool. The other ones look like they've rolled around in the mud too. It's just had time to dry up on them, so it turns that reddish color. We'll see them again in a moment, because look back over to the left and you'll see 2 female lionesses. So it looks like a group of them known as a pride. Now, notice that the female's just sitting down there relaxing, the male definitely taking a nice little nap. Well, lions sleep for about 20 hours of the day. It's their active way to conserve their energy. They'll either sleep or kind of stay still, not moving around too much, as they're going to use their energy at night. The females are the hunters. They'll go out and use their energy, and the male will protect the pride, letting out roars heard 5 miles away. Looks like some warthogs here in the area as well. Notice those tusks. A lot of people do know about that upper set of tusks, but if you pay close attention, as this warthog seems to be munching along, you might see some smaller tusks down there at the bottom. Now, those are self-sharpening, pretty helpful for defense as well. Warthogs can run at about 35 miles per hour, pretty impressive. You might remember Pumbaa from The Lion King. Well, Pumbaa actually means foolish one, so probably a little insulting to a real-life warthog. They're pretty intelligent. See some more friends here with those white rhino that we see. These close to the road here, these brown and white antelope are known as bontebok. Pretty closely related to the wildebeest we got a chance to see a little while ago, but you might not be as familiar with the bontebok. Now, they've got a pretty cool success story, as it was said that they were extinct at one point. Clearly, they're not extinct if you just saw 2 of them, though. It was said that they were extinct, and then one day a farmer found about 17 of them on his land. Now, that's pretty special. He quickly built a fence around them to protect them.
Now, we're walking around the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail to see the animals. There were several that still aren't out yet, but here's one of the bachelor gorillas. He's just hanging out against the tree, just kind of chilling. Oh, he's looking at us. Can you just imagine what's going on in their heads? You can tell that they're just thinking. They're so serious. God, he's beautiful. I don't know that I'd want to be too much closer to him, but they are safe. They're in this enclosed habitat. But just beautiful. Not too much else. You can see rhino, and there were some hoofed animals, And they have a really sweet bird aviary, but the weavers weren't working too much right now. I think it's still too early for everybody. They must be sleeping. One of the nice things about this park is there's really lots of places like this where you can just kind of get off the beaten path. There's fans blowing, there's shade. So even though it feels like you're in the 7th circle of the sun, it's not too bad. It's bearable. It is definitely hot with a mask on. My face is very sweaty. But it is what it is. If this is the price to pay to play, then here I am. So we're going to show you some more. Now we're going to check out Up the Great Bird Adventure. I didn't think the show was running, but I'm really excited to see that it is. So let's check it out and see what it's all about.
Things come through here. We've seen people learn to gain an appreciation for wildlife. Some people have gotten over their fear of birds, and even just recently got back from an adventure with the gang from Up. But no matter what goes on here, there's always one theme: incredible birds and the amazing stories they have to share. Now, I am just one of an entire team of animal behavior specialists, and in just a moment, we're going to meet my colleague and good friend Adam, who will be out here with us as well. So, without further ado, Adam! Hey, thanks, Scott. Thank you. You know, I'm so glad that all of you are here today. This place has become home not just to many animals, but also to many people like Scott and I and the rest of the caretakers as well. Absolutely. Home to a lot of birds too, like these guys. These are called roseate spoonbills, and they get their coloration from the different types of food that they're going to be eating. Right, but you know, do you remember when these guys were first training in them? And they didn't have a lot of confidence when they were flying. They were kind of wacky, but look at them now. Look how confident these guys are as flyers. That is awesome, and that's what this is all about, Scott. And one of my favorite things about these birds, too, is that goofy-looking beak they have. I mean, check that out. Whoa, Adam, that beak isn't goofy to those guys. It actually plays a very important role in the way they are down. Like to help me out. How about right in the back there in the green and gray shirt? Yeah. Stand on up and stay right where you are, and you're going to make hoops with your arms, just like this, involving the other person. Yes, there we go. Now we're on the right track, and we're going to see if Miles wants to make a flight all the way out there and show off that fancy flying, Scott. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty good idea, Adam. We're going to see if he flies down this way, and maybe he can show off how tight it is to maneuver through different objects. So you guys are the trees. We're going to see if Miles can fly right through the middle. What do you say, Miles? Oh, I see those wings coming out. Those are kind of like solar panels. He might be enjoying that sun a little bit too much. There we go. Check that out. That's a natural behavior for birds as well. Oh, nice job! Cool. Hey, give me... Yeah, it's palpable. What do you think, Jackie? I've got some treats for you here. What do you think? Here we go. She's gonna swoop down. She's gonna grab it. Here she goes. She's taking you out. Maybe not this time, Adam. Okay, I think it's because she needs to see the more realistic side. Maybe if I place it this way and it looks more like it's a real fish. That's why, right? Sure, we'll go with that. Okay, Jackie, what do you think? I've got another treat for you here. She looks pretty beautiful up there, huh? She does, and she has that interesting coloration. She's actually a relatively young fish eagle, so as she gets older, that plumage does change a little bit, which is a pretty neat thing to think about out there in the wild. So if you look at a picture, if you look up a picture of a juvenile versus a picture of an adult, you're going to see a lot of different changes from those colorations. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's kind of like the bald eagle, right, Scott? Yeah, you know, juvenile bald eagles, they start off when they're kind of brownish in color, and a lot of people think they look like other eagle species, but honestly, they're just younger bald eagles. As they get older, they get that white plumage on top of their head as well, and that's one of the...
Now I'm so excited. We're going to ride my favorite ride in Disney, Dinosaur. So come on, let's do this.
Listen up. We've got to get in, grab the water on, and get out before that asteroid hits. Let's move. Let's go get that dino. Computer, what are you tracking?
Skyracosaurus.
Not our dino.
Warning, meteor shower in range.
Just little wind.
Hadrosaur. Raptor.
Time to get serious. Watch all those pilots on homing signal. Computer, full stop. Identify. Definitely not our dino. Go, go, go! Another big guy coming up. Computer, slow and identify.
Sauropod.
Still not our dino, but at least this one's a vegetarian.
Asteroid impact in 90 seconds.
We better move it.
Pterodactyl.
Incoming!
Asteroid impact in 60 seconds.
We can't stop now. Keep going, keep going.
Comps on Magus.
Computer, what's happening?
Loss of traction.
Four-wheel drive, move!
Warning. You're done.
Face the door! Left! Right! Left! Right! That was close. Computer, now move!
Carnotaurus.
That's it! Abort mission! Abort! Abort!
Iguanodon.
We got it! Get them out now!
Asteroid impact.
They're not gonna make it! They're not gonna make it!
Mission accomplished.
You made it! I knew you would. Anticipated back with you. I better find it before security does. Thanks for everything!
I think it's time for us to close out the day. We had a great day. It was so exciting to be back in the park again, and I can't wait to get into the other Disney parks and just explore property one more time after the past 4 months. And it's been long awaited, and I'm so excited for the future. So have a great day.